This week on Sailing Chaos, Dennis removes the hatch to a cockpit locker and gives the water pump some much-needed attention.
Looks like it's just screwed in there without... So the next thing I'm going to work on is we have this hatch out here in the cockpit, and it's this guy right here. So it's nothing latches really good. It looks like it's just warped over the years. There's not a good seal. I don't like this because it looks like water can get in pretty easy. There's no rubber gasket. I think there was one in here at one time, but it's all dirty, rotted, and gone. So take this guy out. Looks like it's just screwed in there with all these screws, and then we're going to be replacing it with that guy. That is made by Temperance, I believe it's called. This one's nice. It's got these, I think they call them cam cleats. Open it up. It's got a nice seal around the inside here. Good heavy-duty construction. You can actually stand on this, and it's not going to do any damage. It's also nice and smooth, and it sits pretty flush. This one's pretty rough, so if you did have to sit on here without a cushion, it is gonna irritate you after a while. It just doesn't have a nice clean look that I'm looking for. This will look nice. Everything's all painted. It's gonna look even better. So that's what I'm working on now. Looks like I had a rubber gasket below it. This is sealant. Well, it's not a gasket. So we'll scrape all that off, get it prepped and ready to put the new one on. So I spent a while scraping, and it took me a while just to get to here. I'm gonna use the oscillating tool. It seems to go a lot quicker. You do have to be careful because you'll gouge it a little bit if you don't do it right. So I'm not too worried because A, we can fill it, and B, it's underneath the latch cover, so here we go. Alright, so we got all the sealant and caulking off of it. Not going to be the final job right there. I just want to dry fit it. I'm going to leave it dry fit for a while, and when we're ready, we'll go ahead and clean it up really good, get everything painted, and then we'll go ahead and secure it in there. But for now, let's see how the dry fit goes. Perfect. So it's exactly what I wanted. We don't have to cut anything out. Fits in the existing hole. And like I said, we'll get that eventually all sealed in there after we paint. But that's going to be much more comfortable to sit on. And we'll have a good seal so everything out here can be dry. I had a few minutes and I don't have a manual with me, so I kind of figured it out on my own. I wanted to get the belts on to see if I had the correct size belts. So I ordered them and got them on, and there's only 2 different sizes. I ordered this one too, and I'm not sure what the difference is between this one and this one. So I'll have to look more into that. But these seem to go on and fit. This has a little play in it, but I think this has, I can adjust this. And this went on pretty snug, but I believe I got the right size belts. So that makes me happy. The next thing I want to work on is replacing the impeller and the water pump, which is down there, and it's facing towards the back side. Not very easy to get into, which is frustrating. A lot of newer boats, or newer engines I should say, they flip this around where the water pump is actually on the front side. You have easy access to take the cover off and change the impeller and do maintenance on it. This is going to be a pain, and the screws, a lot of them are almost stripped, so I did order a kit with new screws. And they're actually, they're not screws, I don't think. I think they're nuts, or bolts, I should say. And those should be easier to get on and off. But hopefully this doesn't give me too much trouble and I can get it off and look at the impeller. And I think the right impellers I bought for it. Otherwise, the owner did leave a few. And I'll try those and see if those fit and order those if I need to. So that's my plan today. So I'm struggling with it. So my plan is to remove these hoses and see if I can get a better angle at. And I see why these were stripped. It's difficult to get to some of them. You have to have the screwdriver bent to get to them. Alright. So I got that out of the way. I did attempt to try to do this, and I'm still having a hard time. My next step is take this belt back off, and I'm just going to try to remove the whole water pump. I think it's just held on by these 2 bolts right here. So I think I'm going to have to take this off, then take those off, and then I'll take the whole thing off and should be able to get at it. I panicked there for a second. I dropped the bolt down there, and I realized my flashlight is magnetic. So I stuck that down there and recovered my bolt. Alright, as you can see, I got the pulley off. I'm going to just remove this one hose here. Should be good. Okay, so that's being difficult. I'm going to work on the bolts now. And I'm going to be careful to hold on to them this time. Alright, so as you can see, the back side, and you can see some of them were really stripped. I was able to get one of them out, but now I should have no problem getting the rest of them out. Get the new cover on, and thoroughly inspect it. So I had one that was real difficult. What I ended up doing is using a screwdriver, setting it in there, banging it in with a hammer to kind of reset it. They seem to be copper or bronze of some sort, and so they changed shape, so the hammer trick seemed to work. And now we're going to take the cover off. I gave it a little bit of a chisel with the screwdriver, careful not to chip away any of the metal. And this is what it revealed. Back side of here, on the edge or on here, you'll find a little paper gasket. So you'll have to remove that if it's there. It's hard to tell on this one, but it looks like whatever was there is gone. And I don't see one on there either. The impeller looks to be in decent shape. It's got all its little knobbies. I don't see any nicks or anything in it. I'm still going to replace it while I got this all apart and open, so I know that I'm starting from fresh. And it gives me the experience on how to do it. Everything seems to be good. I used a pair of needle nose pliers and carefully grabbed on one of the little fins and pulled it out. I don't see any thing that looks alarming. The shaft spins nice, so I did order a new shaft, but I still have that, so I'm gonna hold on to that as a backup. And I'm gonna clean this up and put the new impeller in. So this is the old impeller. It's still in good shape, so I am gonna go ahead and clean it up and hold on to it, just to have it as a backup if we're ever out about and we need it. Here's the new ones I ordered. I ordered 2 of them. I'm gonna save the part numbers and everything, so when I go to reorder, everything should be easy. I'll have the whole basically boat list of the parts and the product numbers. I'm gonna throw this in. Here's the gaskets. There's a bunch of different ones that came with this rebuild kit for different parts of the boat, but I'm gonna reach in here and pull out the one hopefully for this pump. So I found the gasket. This looks to be it. It's just a round paper gasket with the holes in it. I would think it would just have the screw holes that you needed, but this has a couple other little holes, but I see them on the plate as well, so that must be there for a reason. So we'll throw this on there after I get the cover cleaned up. Actually, I think I ordered a new cover as well, so I may end up using that. So there, I got a new cover. Looks to be exact. So I'll save this as well as for a backup, but I'm going to throw on the new cover now with the new gasket. Okay, so I got the impeller in there. I was a little confused on if it matters which way these face in there. That was really the only way I could get that in there. I have a feeling it flops the other way, but I think once it starts up, it kind of self-corrects itself. It's in there pretty good. You can't really turn the shaft anymore because there's really no water in there to lubricate it while it turns. Okay, so it took me a while. I had to keep flipping this all different directions and rotating it so that I could get the holes to line up. And then I had these 2 spaces to line up where they previously were. But I did finally figure it out. So I will put that back on exactly how it was with all the holes lining up where they should be. Got the cover, and then these are my new screws. I actually haven't tested them to see if they'll fit. Perfect. So I'm gonna end up using these. Now these have the bolt heads on them as well as a flat screwdriver, so I should be able to get to it either way. Mainly just want to use it for the bolts so I don't ever have to worry about stripping them again. So good upgrade there. And then I got a bunch of extra ones so that if I ever do lose one, drop it down the bilge, as you see I can clearly do, I've got backups. All right, so I got these all on there, and when I tightened them, I did a like a star pattern, just like you would, you know, your lug nuts on a car, just always making sure you're going to opposite ones. And then I went back through and made sure they were all tight. Didn't over tighten them, just tighten them enough. And there's a little paper gasket in there now, new cover, new impeller, and got some new bolts. So I'm going to clean this up a little more and get it back on there. I actually might even paint it. I bought engine paint, so this might be a good little piece to practice it on to see how it's going to come out. It's got a cleaner and a bunch of stuff, so I'll probably do that. Not entirely sure what this screw is yet, so if anybody knows, let me know. I've got the old pulley head that I was going to put back on when I put the water pump back on, but I ordered a new one, which is right here. The only problem is it looks like the new one is smaller than the old one, so I don't want to mess around with it now. This one seems pretty good. I'm just going to clean it up, and when I repaint the engine, I'm going to paint this as well, because I don't know how else I'll get the other one to work, and messing with all the belts would be way over my head.
Don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed watching. You can also subscribe to our Sailing Chaos channel to get notifications when we release a video. Lastly, don't forget to follow us on Facebook.